Hey tubers. Yep, new stereos here. Ordered it yesterday morning and it was here by about, I want to say about 11:30 because it's going on 12:30. Today is April 28th, which is Tuesday. That's the temp in the garage. We had finished disconnecting the Jensen harness from it. And so, yeah, so we got that. And I got the Jensen basket out. Here's the new basket. So we will, before we start on cutting holes and grinding and welding and everything else in here, we're going to mask up the dash on the areas that we don't need, like from about here this way and the same thing over that way. Get a garbage bag, put it over the steering wheel so we don't get everything all screwed up in what we did, and then I'll get a towel or something and I'll put it on the dash and tape it down so we at least keep everything to what I have got done in somewhat of a decent order. Then we'll start marking it up and seeing where it's going to go. I suspect it's going to take a big chunk of this right here. And part of that is going to have to put this back into what it's the bottom right here to where I got the lip in. I'm going to have to grind that off and take that out of there. Because if not, that panel ain't going to fit back on. And so, and then probably weld in a flat panel just to go over there. Because there is still an outside panel that I can, there's a blank one that you can get. So that's where I'm at. I will load these up at the end of each day's work, and we'll see what happens. So right now I pulled the instructions out of the box. I'm going to read those. Probably spend the afternoon reading those. Come out here, take this off, put it up, and start masking off this dash. And then I want to reposition the car too, so we'll probably end up doing that, and then start marking it up and seeing where we're at and which way we want to go. So when I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Morning tubers, or I should say close to the afternoon, and that's the time. That's the temp in the garage. And I know I said yesterday I'll start loading these up on a daily basis, but there was nothing really to show except me. She got the stereo in, and that was it. So we'll start running these together. Started taping up the dash, getting it ready. Got a plastic bag there to go over the steering wheel, and we'll tilt it down so we'll get some room, and then we'll paper up this side of the driver's side of the dash and get that ready. Last night was playing with trying to figure out my approach. The inside definitely will fit the basket, as we see. So we'll have to do some figuring out on that, and fine-tune it before we cut it. So that's where I'm at out here. And the other thing I'm doing is, come on, we'll walk out through the house. Is those two paper towel holders that Richard gave me to paint, that have been etch primed and then primed and then sanded and then primed again, and now they're ready for color. So we'll wipe them down and let them sit out here and bake in the sun, and we'll start shooting color. So like I said, I got a couple of projects going on. today. That's where we're shooting them, is right there. And since I'm out here, need to turn on the air compressor. Back through the house. Hold on, I'll be there in a minute. Hang on, guys. There we go. So that's what we're doing today, between paper towel holders and getting this thing ready, fine-tuning this. And that's what we'll be doing. So when I get more, I'll turn it back on later. Alright, it's protected as about as best somebody get it. And we'll tighten it up a little bit when we start painting. But for right now, for welding and throwing sparks, that's going to be good enough. So next up is got the cutoff wheel. We'll cut the inside first, and then we'll cut the outside. And I got a sacrificial piece of plywood here, so should be good to go. Need the shield, the ear protection, and the mask, and we'll get to cutting. More in a minute. Hey tubers, got the dash panel done. It's a little tight fitting, but I can file on it once it gets welded into the car. I don't want to do too much while it's out. I mean, this thing is very flimsy, so, and it's extremely hard one-handed to get it on and off, so, but yeah, but it fits. So next up is, let's take it to the dash and figure out a few things, and we'll go from there. When I get more, I'll turn it back on later. Alright guys, I got you on the tripod and really zoomed in. So hopefully you can see all this. I drew the center line right here of the insert on the piece I made. Here's the center line. So roughly going something like this. So let's say we keep it flat with the top and level it out, we bring out the bottom. So we can do something like this. And that would be, so I'm trying to keep underneath these two things right here. And it will take off this here. Now I screw the phone. I checked Vintage's Air site, and they don't need a really big area for their controls, so I can get into this area here, and I don't know if you're seeing this. Below this area, I can get into that a little bit, but not much. So if we put this here, okay, we bring it out to where it's level, that's going to be roughly about almost, and I should be doing this, but I don't want to cut any more of the dash than I have to. So I have to just just as I thought, almost 2 inches. So the bottom of this would be almost 2 inches out. I mean, everything I drew up on paper, that's roughly what it was. So if we put it in here, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this as well as I can, and then sit there and do the same. It's going to be 2 inches roughly out. So I think for the first cut is we'll cut here, cut here, cut here, and cut here, and take this section out, and then see, because I want to leave, I want to leave this in, and this in. I'll leave the holes there, but it'll give me something to tack this to, and that too if I decide to go with the bottom out. I'm leaning more towards the bottom flush and the top going back to square it off. That's why I made this plate. So that's where we're at. So if I cut here, cut here, cut here, here, and here, and then see where we're at. So oh man, that didn't focus. Well, I hope most of that got out. I'll look at it later. So when I get more, I'll turn it back on. Hang on. Alright. Got it cut out. Here it is right here. This. So now, I still got my center line marks here and here. So now if we put this back, put this in here, this, put it. So we have to bring it down to about here. About 2 inches there. So bring it down to here. Yeah. Push it down. So we have flat things going here like this. I'm thinking I'm liking that better. So, here it is. Flush, we call this flush on the bottom, where we have the opening on top. I'm thinking I'm liking that a lot better. I'm going to have to knock some of this out, and trim it and flatten this out, so then we can bring it. So. Or we can have flush on top, and then we'd have to bring it out on the bottom. So, and it would be about, this would be, the gap from the edge of the panel to the dash is about 2 inches both ways. So, I don't know. I'm probably going to get Pat over here and have him take a look at it. Or tell him to watch this video. Get both of those to watch this video. So. Alright. Well, that's all I got. until I decide which way to go. I'm not going to trim any more out of that panel. And I hope you guys saw that. So until I decide on which way we're going to go with this, I'm not going to trim any more. I'll probably do FaceTime with T-Dub and get Pat to watch this, and FaceTime with Pat, and then see what they both think about this, and then we'll go from there. Sorry about the fan noise. I hope that wasn't really making too much noise on this. So I'm going to leave this for now. I'll load this up in a minute. You guys have a good one, and we'll pick this up tomorrow.